For this independent practice module, my project is to create a stop-motion animation about untranslatable words. I chose this topic because I'm keen on finding the gap between cross-cultural communication, and through words, I want to explore the linguistic diversity in human nature and facilitate communication between languages and cultures. I also want to acquire the skill I don't possess and to create something different to anything I've made before. So by doing animation, I wanted to develop a wide range of technical skills in filmmaking and explore personal style. Apparently, these are my two aims for the project. To specify the whole process, I took David Cope's experiential learning style model as an analyzing tool. He believed that learning is a process whereby knowledge is created through the transformation of experience. I quite agree with this opinion because doing this project is an integrated process, with each stage being mutually supportive. So these four themes form the spine of my learning process, and I shall elaborate upon them as I proceed today. I began the project from finding visual inspirations, so reflective observation was my first stage of learning. I started my research by finding how this topic is presented by different media forms of artworks. These are two series of illustrations. Both of them have received good reviews and spreading widely online. These are two short videos on YouTube. They all use digital animation technology to show some of the most attractive words. All these works are filled with color, and I think they are both interesting and positive. These common features reminded me of cartoon, or to say animation generally, and also with Anderson's film aesthetic. The positive feeling may indicate that it has a connection with psychology and chromatics. These three aspects formed my deeper research in the next stage. In order to learn how to animate the fluency of the movement, The Monk and the Fish is very instructive. In the film The Little Prince, I especially like the texture of paper and the treatment of light and shade. It inspired me on how to make the full use of the material. There are several stop-motion videos on Vimeo. All these props in here are made of paper. They influenced me on how to utilize the feature of this material and make the stop-motion animation more vivid. Wes Anderson's film aesthetic is a major research focus, not only because he did two extraordinary stop-motion movies, but he has also built up a unique visual system in every scene. For example, Wes prefers to use certain color schemes to create a sense of harmony. He is also particularly fond of using one font in poster, opening headline, and final credits. Beyond that, we tend to keep the whole story in cyclical narrative structure, which means having film end where they started. All these cinematic features can be seen in my final realization. Tim Lomas is a specialist in positive psychology. He started the Positive Lexicography Project in 2014 and has examined more than 400 words from 80 languages with no English equivalent. As a comparative reference, the illustration book Lost in Translation provides a more straightforward and playful expressions of the word's meaning. After having a theoretical foundation, I focused on solving technical problems in the production process. The final realization involving the collaboration of three software, Dragonframe, After Effects, and Premiere, and it was my first time to use Dragonframe and After Effects. By exploring a new medium, I pushed myself to take a more diverse and professional filmmaking approach. The most challenging part of production for me was composition. I had intended to use free download music, but none of them meet my demands. What influenced me the most was the recomposed music of Corelli's La Folie in this film. It's an Asian melody, but the variation structure is still preserved in contemporary music. I learned from this idea and really enjoyed the process of orchestration. In my opinion, the most fascinating part of stop-motion animation is that you can feel how meticulous the person who is behind the scene and making the animation by hands. That is the reason why I use pixelation at the end of the film, just to emphasize the sense of ingenuity. Doing animation is really a time-consuming process. It requires patience, perseverance, and the courage to start all over again. I'm proud that I made enough preparation and a detailed production schedule for this project. They helped me to finish all the tasks in time and enhance my planning and implementation capacity. However, I'm still aware that the final product could have more space for improvement. I think the video Komorabi has a higher conception than mine in terms of the same subject. It began with word, but in the end it broke through the limits of the word and revealed that it is our emotions and feelings that are lost in words and translations. So in further development of this project, I will try to create a film with Asian cultural background and provide a more macro perspective. I believe I have met my two aims for the project, and I have completed it to the best of my abilities within the given time frame. I'm glad that I find a valuable topic that I'm truly interested in, and I shall continue learning from this experience. Here is my final realization. Ubuntu, Univentu, being kind to others on account of one's common humanity. We are bound together in ways we cannot see. Komorabi, Japanese. The sunlight that filters through the leaves of the trees. Stressvogelpolitik, Dutch, literary meaning ostrich politics, acting like you don't notice when something bad happens, continuing on regardless, as you normally would. Click, Tagalog, the feeling of butterflies bursting out when you interact with someone you love or find attractive.